Welcome back to Live to Fish. It's Friday, fishes. You know what that means. That's right. What's in the boxes today? Let's see what we got here. One, two. Yep, just two for right now. So, two's always better than one, right? I guess it depends on what you're doing. All right, first box up has a warning. Do not open with knife. So I'm a guy and I'm not one to not follow instructions, so I'm going to use my multi-tool. No knife here. Well, looks like it opened up just fine with the multi-tool. Thank goodness I didn't use the knife. Started to think what would have happened. Let's see what we got here. First up is the Zoom dual tail grubs. These Fat Alberts in the single tail are absolute killers early in the spring. So these here, instead of being the single tail, have a dual tail action. I plan on using this on a trailer on some football jigs. I used the single tail as a trailer last year and caught a huge smallmouth at the beginning of the season. So I'm excited to try those. Next up, something that I've wanted for quite a while. I've thrown some imitators. I've thrown some lesser quality bladed jigs. This is the producer from what I hear and from what I've seen. It is the Z-Man Jackhammer. Now this is a little pricey. It's a half-ounce bladed jig. And we're going to give this a shot at the beginning of the season as well. So a lot of this stuff is going to be in my first videos once we actually get out to the lake, get out to the shore, and start trying to catch some fish. Next up, one of my all-time favorite producers is the Z-Man TRD. Now, TRD stands for the real deal. However, we affectionately call it the turd. One of the myths behind how this was developed, it may be fact, it may not be fact, is the fact that fish eat goose poop. So when they see this coming down, they think it's goose poop, so they eat it. I'm not so sure about that, but we'll see. This color is Bubble Gut. Now, Bubble Gut's a new color that I wanted to try this year, and you can see from the underside, it's kind of a pinkish, reddish with some red flake. And then on the other side, you have a green pumpkin and red flake in it. And these are the Z-Man Elaztech products, which again, I'm a huge fan of. They are so durable. I mean, look at the action on these things. I mean, they last, you can catch dozens of fish on one lure. So, well worth it for the Z-Man products. And they're reasonably priced too. Right here, you got a pack of 8, $3.97 on sale at Tackle Warehouse. You can't beat that. Next up is a jerkbait in the minnow color. It is a 4 3/16 inch and a half-ounce weight. Diving feed on this is 0 to 3 feet. I plan on, again, fishing from shore where it's shallow, using this in the shallows to kind of draw out those fish. All right, let's see box number 2. Oh, thankfully there's no warning on this one. So, but we're not going to use a knife. We will use the multi-tool yet again, just in case there's something that could get destroyed by a knife. It's out here. This is something I want to talk about in a second here, but first we will get to ripping stickers off so you can actually see the product because it was on top of the product. This is a walking mullet. It's a topwater lure. It's kind of almost half popper, half spook. Very nice. 4 inches in length, 7/16 ounce And again, this is a topwater walking mullet. Very, very good stuff in this order. All right, let's take a look here. We have another jerkbait. Again, this is going to run really shallow. Again, 0 to 3 feet, ½ ounce. Perfect for where I'm fishing. I wanted a little bit of that red color in there. Seems to be pretty hot in the spring. And now we have another one that you can't really see because they put these stickers right on top of the lures. So give me 1 second. I'm going to take this thing off and we'll get back to it. Okay, that's all done now. Now, you heard me refer to a part spook bait back when we talked about this walking mullet here. That was kind of like a popper, kind of like a spook. This is the Super Spook Junior in the bone color. Now, this is another topwater lure. You just kind of twitch across, pop it as it goes, kind of swims back and forth. Excellent. Another one, I have not yet had a spook bait in my collection, believe it or not. So, I mean, more or less for what I use for topwater is the whopper ploppers, the dual ploppers, and frogs. So that's primarily what I use right now, but that pencil baits and things like that I'm starting to get into, so that should be interesting. We'll see how that pans out for us this year. And now, one of my favorite producers from last spring is the Meps Double Blade Aguila. Now this one here, you can see where it says size 3. 3 on the blade is just basically kind of a mid-range size. They go down like 2, 1, they're a little bit smaller. And then you have size 4, 5 that are a little bit larger. Now there's a couple things that go on with this lure here. You have a skirt and kind of this red trailer that comes out of it with a treble hook hidden inside that skirt. Now that hair skirt kind of flares out as it comes in and out. As you retrieve, I should say. And the blades here, they kind of spin and flash and give a lot of action, displace a lot of water. And there's a little bit of knock to it as it goes through. I use this in like darker or stained water. The canals is a good place to use it. Dredge it through some of the shallower water. Had a lot of good luck with largemouth bass on that lure. So most of the Meps I've picked up have been from flea markets and things like that, garage sales. You can get them fairly cheap, and they're not hard to sharpen up the hooks if they're dull. Now, I've been lucky enough to, most of the ones that I get from the flea markets, from the garage sales, have been sharp enough to use just, right after I get them, I just throw them out there. Some are rusted up. You got to kind of fix them up a little bit, but for the most part, they are producers. They do real well. Now, I haven't caught any smallmouth on them, but man, the largemouth absolutely smoke those Meps. Okay, the last item in our unboxing today is something that I want to kind of go over in greater detail once I show you what it is. And it is a set of fish bait or fishing gloves. Now, these aren't gloves that are protectors because I don't want to touch the fish, or if you have a pike or something like that, you don't want to get cut, especially like myself that's on blood thinners. It's not a good combination at all. Okay, I'm going to have to break out the multi-tool for this because it's not coming apart. There we go. Now, these do have grips on them, and they're padded for those long days in the lake. But the main reason why I got these is because they have UV protection. Now, one of the things I'm a big advocate of is using sunscreen when you're out fishing. Also wearing net gaiters, fishing hats, long sleeve shirts, long sleeve pants. I know it gets hot sometimes, but you have to protect yourself from the sun. So as you can see, these protect you pretty well except for your fingertips, but that's okay. I want my fingertips free so I can feel the line action, so I can also have mobility when I'm reeling in. I don't want slippage on my reel crank handles. And again, this is my left hand, so I really wouldn't be doing that with my left hand, but for demonstrative purposes, I figure I'll show you. Unfortunately, if you need to see an example of why you need to protect yourself, go over to Tactical Basson's channel and take a look at what Matt Allen recently went through with skin cancer. It is no joke. You have got to protect yourself. And again, I'm a big advocator on wearing a fishing hat of some sort, whether it be a baseball cap or an actual fishing hat with a brim to cover your neck. I use the neck gaiters and I pull them up over my face. I use sunglasses with UV protection. I use long sleeve shirts. And now I have a new set of gloves that I'm going to be using in addition to like long khaki pants. Just protect yourself. Use some SPF 50 or greater and take care of yourself. Take care of your skin. It'll take care of you. Okay, that's all I have for the public service announcement and for the unboxings for today. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Appreciate you stopping by and taking a look at what we have to offer. And for those of you returning, thank you so much for coming back. But be sure to hit that like. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. If you have any questions, anything you want to see, maybe it be new gear, new reels, new rods, thoughts on different fishing techniques, whatever it may be, drop me some questions in the comments below, and we'll get to them in the next video, which is going to be coming for next Friday, so stay tuned. In the meantime, take care, be well, be safe, and remember, fishing's just a little ways away. Get ready.